Hello there guys, Elita Legionarii here, and today I am bringing you a 3 vs 3 31k for Rome Total War. I'll be in command of the Julii Romans. I'm teamed up with Paladinbob, who is in command of the Julii Romans as well, and Walls Parker, who is in command of the Julii Romans. Our opponents are Mystique, the Brotherhood clan. She is in command of the Senate. We have Racer X of the Brotherhood clans, and he's in command of the Spqr, and we have Phlegethon of the COH clan, who's in command of the Scipii also. So my army consists of, I believe it was 6 units of Praetorian cavalry and 14 units of urban cohorts, so the most typical build. Paladinbob's build consists of, I can see 3 Praetorian cavalry, I see a legionary first cohort, and I think that must mean he has 16 urban. No, sorry, he must have, there's a archer auxiliary there. How many of those did he have? 2, so he's got 14 urbans, 2 archer auxiliary, 3 cav, and first cohort. And the Walls Parker's army, he's got 6 Praetorian cavalry, and I think same army as me, 14 urbans. Let's have a look over here. Phleg's army, he's got, let's see if I don't get it muddled with races. Okay, let's see, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Praetorian cav, and I think 14 urbans. Wait a minute, no. So he's got 13 urbans and then a first cohort. Then we have Racer X's army, he's got 5 Praetorian cav, 3 archer auxilia, and 12 urban cohorts. And Mystique, she tends to use large infantry based armies most of the times. For she's got 3 Praetorian cav and 17 urban cohorts. So the battle plan was pretty straightforward. What we were going to do was we were just going to advance up in steady order at a slow pace. That's what we're doing here, and we were going to engage Scipii players and probably focus on Phleg, try and take out his flank, and what we're going to do is kind of refuse our own right flank. So Bob is going to kind of refuse back here and just try and hold Mystique up and keep her out of the fight, or at least, you know, try and destroy Phleg or Racer X before moving on to Mystique, basically. So we're just going to move pretty steadily here. So Bob will take the right. The thinking here was Bob's a defensive player, so I figured he wouldn't mind this strategy. He's got some archers, he can take some pop shots and just take his time. He usually plays better when he can do that, and that's what we're going for here. I'm an aggressive player, I want to be in on the attacking, I'm at my best when I do that, and I'm not honestly sure what Walls Parker's preference is, but he appeared to be pretty pleased with the strategy. So what he's going to do is going to push out onto the left flank here. This is how we work this. I'm going to advance up and hold and support him against Phleg and hold Racer X, and if I need maybe 1 or 2 units to help me from Bob, he will send that, and then he'll just try and stall Mystique. So that's the general outline of the plan. It doesn't exactly go off right. Usually most plans don't survive first contact, as the saying goes. I'm going to advance up here. As you can see, everyone else is advancing up. Bob he's not running, he hadn't been running into position, so Mystique automatically just takes advantage of it. This is what I mean about, I'm just going to pause it, this is probably what I mean about with Bob. He tends to take his time a lot. He needed to be running here though, because as you can see, archer auxiliary are in trouble, and Mystique's is going to make a nice little quick strike and take advantage of that. And this badly disrupts Bob. He sends 2 of these urbans out here to help us, but he actually forgets about them, and that just weakens him overall. But it was a pretty clever move by Mystique, because it's caused Bob some disruption. She's going after his unit of archers here, but he sends cav after them, and he should concentrate his cav against her infantry to make use of the advantage there. So I'm moving up and having a bit of a peeler duel with both Racer X and Phleg. Would have preferred Bob to kind of link in a little bit closer, because I was worried a gap would start appearing and they'd exploit it, but he gets very much pinned up on Mystique. But very nicely done here by Parker. He's done his part of the plan perfectly. He's moved right out into the left. I'm holding the centre doing peeler duel, but he's getting some nice flanking hits in on Phleg, and it's going to come off nicely as Peeler shots are going into the tight formation here. So this part of the plan's going off nicely, but this gap here was something of concern. But fortunately, with all our cav over here, most of these are over here, and because Mystique does not have much, it's not having too drastic a bad effect. Although she is moving to plug into this gap. Bob's got a couple here. He probably would have been better to send these two back, but I'm pretty sure he completely forgets about them until much later in the game. So I was sending messages to Wolves Parker at this point, and I was saying let's attack fast, because I was concerned that Bob was having a hard time with Mystique, and I didn't want to leave him high and dry for too long, just in case, as you can see, because Racer X is going to go and support. So I said let's quickly destroy Phleg fast so we can get over there and use overwhelming numbers to support, while we just send enough to hold these guys. So that's what's going on over here. He's just sending his guys in here. We're going to throw, usually we throw about one volley of peeler and then we're going to charge in. I'm moving my guys up in a couple of groups here just to support him as best as I can. As you can see over here, Bob he's not very ordered and structured, and it is kind of proving dangerous for him here, and of course with Racer X helping, he's a little bit disorganised and disheveled. As you can see, he took some serious losses to peeler, because I don't think he was in loose formation there. So as you can see, we start pouring our numbers in quite a bit here, using the second rows here to add peeler support, and we're just going to try and break through Phleg. I suspect he could be on guard mode here, just trying to hold us up, which is a good idea. But me and Wolves Parker are being really aggressive on this flank, but as you can see, 3 of Bob's Urbans just routed then, so we're going to have to speed this up or Bob's going to get destroyed and Mystique's going to come in on our flank. So we're going to start preparing to do this pretty soon, or as soon as possible. I'm just moving some of my guys close because there is the risk that we'll take a lot of peeler here, because we haven't thrown all our peeler because we haven't had time to throw all our peeler. But I'm going to throw some peeler here just to help speed matters along again. We've got numbers in the vicinity, but these guys are holding fairly well. Now we really want to get rid of these guys quickly, but there is still plenty of enemy cav in the area, and if we're too hasty with the cav fight, we could find ourselves in a bit of danger. Bob is starting to rout en masse out there, so this is looking a bit rough. Even though it's good on our flank, that flank is completely crushed. Again, these 2 infantry could have really saved him, and I think if he just kind of fell back a little bit and just linked up with my right here and just played a real defensive game instead of getting a bit isolated like he did, it would have been better for us. So we break this first cohort in here, and a really nice charge from Wolves Parker. I now have my cav ready they're going to counter him here, but I'm going to have my cav ready to counter him, and then I'm going to pour in my next row of infantry to support. For some reason my cav stopped charging then. As you can see, a few of Wolves Parker's men rout, but I bring my cav in here, get a charge off. I pull these guys in here because we're starting to get wrapped here, and they start supporting. As you can see, get a good charge in and it routs a few of the guys, although a lot of our guys are routing too actually, which is a bit rough. And there's peeler coming in as well. So we're going to disengage. I was probably a little too slow on that cav charge, to be honest. I was trying to get that counter, but this is a risk when you always try to get that counter. If you wait too long, the damage might already be done on that first charge. And as you can see, Bob has been destroyed and Mystique's on her way, and we have not decisively defeated either of our opponent just yet. So we're going to charge in again because these guys are fixed up and these guys are not charging in yet. And I'm going to pour in the rest of my infantry support. We've got to try and get a breakthrough here on either Racer X or Phlegethon quickly, or we're not going to be able to win this particular fight. It's pretty even. This fight on this side is going pretty even between us, but with Mystique having pretty decisively won, as you can see, she's got a large number of infantry and cavalry left. We are at a decided disadvantage, so we have to very quickly try and crack this particular side so we can reorganise it to face Mystique. As you can see, Bob has finally noticed he had 2 infantry units left, because as you can see, Mystique's poured in on my flank there, and there's not much I can do about it at this stage. We're just trying to continually use cav charges to do our bit. Me and Parker are doing pretty well to hold out, but with the loss of Bob's army, we're fighting at a disadvantage of numbers. He gets a nice charge in through here, and then just calls her out. I'm going to charge in through here in the hopes of getting Phleg's general to try and rout that, because that would be quite good. Probably should have charged in here though to help his cav to break the enemy cavalry. That might have been a mistake on my part. But as you can see, we do get some good routes through here after my charge and his charge, and that's quite good. I didn't get his general, but his general's weakened and close to routing, so we're going to keep working on that. And Wolves Park is kind of on the flank here, but Mystique's reinforcers and the fire arrows from his Archer Auxiliary of Racer X is proving quite dangerous. So at this stage, our guys are holding quite nicely, but with all of Mystique's infantry reinforcing now, that puts us at an infantry disadvantage for the most part. We're trying to hit this area here. Another that's Racer X's general, and it's quite thin, so we're going to try and get his general, and that's what we're going for there. But it does hold out quite well, unfortunately for us. It just didn't break quickly, and of course Mystique's getting her charges in, and some of the Paladin's infantry is not holding it. It's the last of what he's got here. Try and disengage our cav. We are doing quite well out on the left, but the right really could do with some reinforcing. Bob's men start to rout there, and that's looking pretty rough, and we're not getting decisive breakthroughs. Now what we should have done is sent our cav around. Looking at this now, just didn't. The enemy cav has been destroyed. We should have sent it around and hit them in the flank, and we probably could have destroyed them. That was a mistake, because we could just come around straight in their flank and rip them apart, but we just didn't. My guys ended up pushing straight on through. Now ordinarily that's pretty risky, but because the enemy cav has basically been destroyed, it's not a big deal, and we get a breakthrough here, and it's looking alright at this stage, like we're going to push around and get these guys. I didn't really want to. I wanted to go for the archers, but at the same time, I really wanted to kill these infantry. So I pushed it on the enemy general. Both of them are here in the hope that I can get both, and I do get both. And it's looking quite good, but then several of my infantry start routing some of these cav and under Mystique's infantry attacks. So we're holding them pretty good. Probably should have got rid of these archers in all honesty. But at the same time, I saw just how desperate the infantry fight was, and I forget it was really hard to choose because the archers are going to be getting pop shots into our flank. But at the same time, if we can rout these infantry, we can take the fight. So probably I think we went for the right decision, but the archers could have been a nuisance. I think had Parker come and helped me here, we might have been able to rout these guys sooner. One of my guys regroups and I hit the flank here, but then Mystique's cav come around the back. And my cav is severely depleted now, probably been under archer fire. So the archers, it was kind of a do or don't kind of thing, where you either win one way, but you're going to lose another no matter what decision you make. And unfortunately, Wolves, Parker, and my infantry is starting to rout here. So a close one, came down to the wire, but I just think slightly superior teamwork. And I mean, Bob got very isolated, and he kind of didn't refuse his flank and fall back in on the link with us, and that cost us at the start because Mystique was able to destroy him quite quickly, and our losses were quite significant. She's going to get a lot of kills because she's still fighting us now. With our cavalry lost and Mystique still having her cav and there's archers behind us, we are going to get destroyed. So a close one though. I think our plan was overall a workable one. I think it would have definitely worked. But with Bob getting isolated and it not linking into our side there and having some of his infantry sitting back for too long, those little things didn't help us. And the mistakes that me and Parker made is at the end, we should have sent our cav around the back and hit the flank. I think that would have routed them sooner, but you just don't always think of these things sometimes when you're in game. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And this time we didn't. But to be honest, I think the plan was quite good. It's just that it wasn't executed as well as it needed to be. There you go, all our infantry routes en masse, and Mystique, Racer X and Phleg have taken the victory, but a pretty close one to be honest. I thoroughly enjoyed it to be honest. It's, you always learn more from your defeats, you learned the teamwork and things like that, which could have been better. I think we kind of possibly got Bob a bit confused about what we want him to do, which was probably my fault, because sometimes when you're in the thick of battle you need to communicate a lot, but at the same time when you're in the thick of battle it's kind of hard to do all that. But anyway, really good game. Very high kills for Mystique, nearly 2,000, so very well done to her. 1,200 for Racer X and 1,000 or 1,100 for Phleg. Both me and Parker have got good kill counts on 1,330, 1,316. and Bob's only got 863, so I think if he'd been able to come in and link up with me on my right flank and just steadily hold it back and keep in controlled order and like controlled withdrawals and retreats, I think me and maybe even combining his cav with us, me and Parker would have broken through Phleg and Racer X on the left and centre, but it just didn't work that way. I think he was moving a wee bit too slow at the start, and Mystique really caught on to that and caught him out. And it's very hard to recover when you get caught out. That's happened to me a few times as well, and she did a really great job there. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed it. Great game to everyone. Unfortunately, Bob's channel got taken down. He's restarted a new one, but he's got no vids, so there's not really much point in me linking anything yet, because I don't think he's going to be uploading anything, so that's a bit unfortunate. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, and please, guys, please leave comments. I know I don't like to ask that of you guys, but at the same time, I just really love reading the comments you guys have to say. That is really good to hear feedback about what you think. You know, leave a comment what you think we could have done, or who you thought made the errors, or if it was just unlucky, or whatever you think. It's always good to hear the feedback. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Great game to those guys, and I'll see you soon next time.